Skip the donut shop and make them in your own home kitchen. These homemade fall flavored donuts will be a family favorite. Khara Westergard is joining me in the Studio 5 kitchen to share the how-to. It's great to see you.
Always good to be here.
So you're focusing on fall flavors today. What's on the menu?
Yes, so fall favorites, and we've got the pumpkin and the apple cider.
Apple cider.
Yes. So those are both just favorite cake donuts, and it's just so fun to be able to make them at home. And most people will usually kind of stick to the yeast glazed donuts, and so I just thought it'd be fun to give you a way to do more than just the yeast.
I am all ears. I think the notion of making homemade donuts sounds fun. Sometimes there's an intimidation in thinking, can I really pull that off? So walk us through carrot dough.
Well, so
where do we start with dough?
Can I pull this off? That's a great thought, because these are actually way faster than a yeast donut. So that's another thing I like about them.
Okay.
So they don't have to rise, and they can be done. I'm going to show you how fast we can do this, really. Let's start over here with the dry ingredients. We're going to do just our flour, baking powder, salt, and our spices. Now this is about the same for both recipes. Here's where we vary a little bit, is where we've got, you know, apple or pumpkin, but we've got spices here that are a little different too. So, I mean, everybody's gonna use the cinnamon. We're gonna go for the allspice for both. There's, you know, nutmeg for both, but we have some, starts with a C, and I'm blanking.
Cinnamon? Cinnamon?
Something that will be in the recipe.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I'm no help.
I'm just mind blanking right now.
It's going to take you about 5 minutes when we're in commercial break. Cloves! Cloves.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're just gonna mix those together real quick, and that's just, you know, really fast, and we're gonna put that off to the side. But first, we are gonna do like a muffin method with this. These are cake donuts, but because there's not a lot, you don't want a lot of moisture in them, or else they will fall apart in the oil.
Okay.
So we are, you know, low moisture, and so we are doing it more of a muffin method instead of real cake method. But somewhat similar to cake. So we cream our butter and our sugar together. Sorry, when I said the muffin method, I wanted you to know we made a well right here in our dry ingredients.
Okay.
And that's what we do with muffins. Anyway, so we've got our butter and our sugar, brown sugar, here, creamed together already so that it wasn't so loud. And then we just need to add an egg. And you want to add your egg before you add the next ingredients, because it gets, and with mixer usually, but trying not to be too loud here.
And is this what will go in the well of the dry ingredients?
Yes, this will go in the well of the dry ingredients here. So I'm just going to mix it super fast. I do like to do things by hand a lot, and specifically in this recipe, the end when I mix them both together, I like to do, so here we go with our pumpkin.
Okay. These are the pumpkin cake donuts.
Yes, these are the pumpkin ones, and then our vanilla. So there you go. All those are
easy does it.
Our ingredients.
Yes.
Yes. And I do like to mix the dry and the wet together by hand, because when you use a machine, sometimes the machine will overmix it for you out of control, and you just, you know, before you can
keep the control in your life when you can.
Yes.
It's a metaphor for many things.
Right. So here we go. We're just going to go ahead and add our wet ingredients in.
Okay. And why do we do this in the well?
To help distribute it through.
Like you said, not too much moisture. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't want to overmix. And so the well helps to, I mean, that's what is, I just always have done it.
No, listen,
but
I'm here to learn.
It's the
technique that you would.
Yes, it's because you want to have it down into the flour. It's supposed to have a little less mixing if you do it that way.
I'm here for it.
And just to distribute the wet into the dry a little bit easier.
Are we ready to shape?
So we are. So we're going to take this over as soon as we've got this all mixed together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just that quick. We don't have to wait for it to rise. We just got to mix the dough.
That is surprising to me how fast it did come together.
Yeah. Sorry, and I'm just
you're okay.
Almost done.
We're giving you your bicep workout today.
Yes, we are. Okay, so, but once again, it's better to kind of like mash the dry into the, there you go.
There's a theme.
The dry into the wet before, like by hand, so that it's not over mixing.
You've got parchment paper dusted with flour.
Yes, thank you. So lots of flour here because we don't want it to stick.
Yeah.
And it's a very soft dough. So you can refrigerate this first if you want, but you don't have to. So then we're just gonna add a bunch of flour to the top.
Okay. And what shape are we going for?
we're gonna go for a rectangle.
Okay.
So, I mean, in our dough as we're pressing it down.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and use my hands. You can use a rolling pin, but it's just so fast here for me to do my hands, and I have control over it and I can see. Anyway, so lots of flour here because it's very, very soft.
Okay.
And again, if this is too hard for you to work with, then you're gonna put it in the fridge and chill it first.
Got it.
We're going to go about 1 inch to 3/4 of an inch thick here.
Okay. You've got your donut cutters.
Yes, and you really want to dip these in the flour. Right now it's not gonna stick to the flour because it hasn't touched anything wet yet, but I love, so there we go, it's a donut, right?
Yeah.
I actually loved my plastic one better for my biggest, for my shape. It's just a little bit between this one and the next size.
Okay.
But then just so easy, and
Okay.
we're
We've got
going
about a
to,
minute left.
Yes.
What oil do we have going on the stove?
So we have, if you forget what kind of oil, you can look on the bottles at the store. It will tell you what is best for frying, and this is vegetable oil.
Vegetable,
So
got
I
it.
usually would use like a canola oil for
Okay.
other things, but this is a vegetable.
And what temp?
So the temperature is going to be, it's a little tiny bit low right now. It's above 350, which is good.
Okay.
We don't want it to drop below 350.
Okay.
We want it to be between 350, 360.
Okay. And these will cook pretty quick, right? Is
They
that
will.
what I understand?
Yep, they will.
Great.
So I set a timer usually at home for 2 minutes. 2 to 2.5 minutes
They
per
come out
donut.
hot, and then you get to have fun with the glazing and the
They
dusting.
do. So here we go. So it's gonna pop up here in just a moment. You'll see it come up.
Okay.
Now when you are frying, I just want to give you a few tips.
Sure.
This is the best.
This little gadget.
It's a spider strainer, and if you can get it on Amazon,
Great.
it'll make your life so much easier when you're doing donuts.
Okay.
So this will help you to not burn yourself, and it's much easier than chopsticks and
Nice.
forks and things.
It's rising to the top.
Right. So it's rising to the top, and when it does get to like the halfway mark,
Okay.
then we're gonna flip it.
Okay. And then we glaze or we dust, and they look beautiful. Crowd favorite,
Yes.
pumpkin or apple cider?
You know what? I thought it would be pumpkin
Yeah.
because I'm a pumpkin lover, and it's so good. But then when you taste the apple cider one with that crisp, like
Ooh.
sugary outer
Yes.
crust,
Khara,
it's so good.
Thank you. We're going to send you to Instagram, where we'll share some glazing and finishing tips. Khara is the best to walk us through this start to finish. Where can we get more food inspiration from you?
So you can find the recipes with you on your website, but also come find me on Instagram at Balsamic Baker.
Balsamic Baker.
So,
Be sure to follow her on Instagram, and we'll link you over. I'm giddy to try these at home. So thank you so much.
Thank you.